about the pricing for Magic App. How is that solved? Is it?
I can provide an answer, but I've seen our acting CEO is online. I don't know, Chris, if you want to jump in on that specific. Is he allowed to jump in, Gary?
Yes, yeah, we can
Chris
ask.
Champion.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, so we don't have a sort of single price. It's very hard to say because different customers need different things. So if it's just doing someone might be doing one guideline to having a portfolio of 100 guidelines. So at the moment, everything's done based on an assessment of what the customer's needs are. But if anyone's interested, they can contact me and have a conversation about how it meets their needs.
Oh, great. So, Chris, if you can put your email or contact in chat, that will be helpful. Okay, so perhaps we can go quickly through those questions, which are mostly about, I think, features of Magic App. So I don't know, Luba, if you want to quickly answer these as you've put in the chat. So first one is, if you import the table from grade, will it import your downgrading and reasons as well, so you don't have to regrade?
Yes, so we have integration with Grade Pro GDT so that you can import the files that you've created.
Okay, so is it possible to upload RevMan web exports as well?
At the moment, we don't integrate with RevMan Web, but we do have a workaround if you have RevMan Web data in order to get that into Magic App.
The collaboration with RevMan and RevMan Web has been very close over the years. We had a memorandum of understanding with Cochrane to work together. The evolution of the different tools don't make it currently seamless, but as Luba says, there are ways to export and import the data that allow you to work also with RevMan Web.
And Lynn is actively working with Gert and the Cochrane tech team actually right now in order to get the seamless integration going.
Great. Okay. So then when you import an update grade file, will it just update the evidence that has changed and ask you to address or check changes, or will you essentially have to go through every line of data again to check?
So we actually implemented a new feature called shadow outcomes. So essentially, if you wanted to create an update, you can just create, you can upload your new file and it will automatically register all of the new outcomes. And then you just have to review them and then accept those changes. So I also linked to a help article. I'm not sure if it's possible to link that maybe in the recording afterwards, just to explain people how that works.
Okay, we think we can do that. So when a guideline is published on Magic App, is it open access?
We encourage folks to make guidelines publicly accessible because it is part of our mandate to have more accessible, trustworthy evidence and guidance, but it is an option for users whether or not they want to make any of their versions of the content publicly accessible.
I should add the responsibility, the ownership of the data is with the author. So if you author an evidence summary, it doesn't have to be a guideline, an evidence summary and or a guideline, any data in Magic, you own that data, and so you're responsible for its accuracy. You can update it or not, and therefore you can make the choice of making it publicly accessible or not. It's not owned by Magic, with the exception being guidelines produced by Magic itself.
Okay, and perhaps a related question that comes from me is, you mentioned that you can have a guideline published on Magic App, but also in a journal. So
yeah.
how that comes about, kind of double publication, how that works actually?
So this is part of our collaboration with the BMJ over the years now, since 2016, is to reflect and innovate together on publication formats. So there is, of course, the text. And here we're making a lot of effort into having templates of text and templates of rapid recommendation in Magic App that produce guideline content for the journal directly. In addition to that, a lot of our efforts has been about what we call the top layer, the first thing you see visible on a journal, for example, and that those are infographics. and we've co-designed infographics with the BMJ in our user testing research, and publishing the results from the user testing as well. The key feature is that those infographics can then be doorways to Magic App content. And we use widget technology. So any content within Magic, a summary of finding, a recommendation, an element, can have its own widget, its own link that you can then plug in your own website. Some clients use their own website to build, for example, a table of content or organize content. And as you click on that website, you can either go in Magic, or Magic content can be brought to you, to your website, as a pop-up or embedded. And so this technology allows a lot of flexibility. And this is what we've used in journals and with the BMJ, that when you have the infographic with co-design, you can click on different elements of the infographic. It brings the summary of finding. At the end of the infographic, you can dive into the Magic App version of the guideline. And now we're thinking even of concise version of a very large, extensive guidelines in the published version in a journal, with more extensive version in Magic App. And the interesting part of this is, if the journals are willing to innovate, like BMJ has, and I'm sure others are willing in our discussions, then you can have different elements of these evidence ecosystem shown at different places, with high-level things for the user and for dissemination, for example, in a journal, and all the elements multi-layered in Magic App.
Okay, Thomas, thanks. Final quickly, is there an option to have content in British English instead of American English, graphs, and etc.?
Luba, you want to start?
Yeah, so I just wanted to flag, we have 14 languages, but then for English, we have British, Canadian, Australian, and US. And I just wanted to say that there is one other question about Matchit tools from Mesa. And the question is whether you can make Matchit tools. And I wanted to just send that to Thomas.
Right now, as I mentioned, Matchit is produced by us. So like for pricing questions, you will have to reach out to us, Chris and I, for the creation of a given Matchit tool. But it is our hope that we can provide this service more directly to users, and particularly users of Cochrane, and that it's fully embedded in Magic App as you author the way Luba has shown you. So for the moment, you need to reach out to us individually, and we'll discuss. But it is our objective to expand the access of that feature.